Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for another YouTube practice. Today we're going to be doing a energizing power vinyasa flow. So I'd recommend that this practice is suitable for someone who already has some kind of existing yoga practice. We will be moving quite fluidly throughout, but there will, as always, be different options to take. So we're going to come into a standing position to start the class, and coming into an energizing breath, we're going to do our breath of joy. So this is really good for getting that little energy boost going. So what we do for our breath of joy, we've got the legs roughly hip width, and I want you to make sure that you're keeping a little bit of softness through the legs throughout. So we inhale, sweep the arms up. We inhale again, sweep the arms out to the side. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, fold forwards. Okay, so we inhale, sweep them up. Inhale, out to the side. Inhale, up, and then folding forwards on the exhale. So we'll come to get started in a moment. So we go through the breath of joy quite quickly. So it's inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. So don't worry if you get a little bit lost or you need to go at a slightly different pace, that's okay. If the breath doesn't feel right for you, you don't have to take it. So when you're ready, inhale. And last one. And coming back to standing. Apologies for my slight little sniffle that I've got. So we're going to bring the hands to heart center now. Hopefully feeling a little bit more refreshed and energized after that breath. We're going to inhale here, and then on your exhale, I want you to twist to the right and press. Imagine that you're pressing energy away with the hands. So right hand's reaching behind, left arm reaches out in front. Gaze comes over the right fingertips. Inhale, bring hands back to heart center. Exhale, twist to the left, take it to the other side. Push that energy away with the hands. Inhale back to center once more on each side. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, draw it back in. Exhale, twist to the other side. And draw it back in. Well done. Release the arms, take a little shake out. Love this one. Shaking out the wrists, the arms, and also, again, in an energetic sense, getting the energy moving and releasing energy from the body that's not serving you, letting go of anything that came before this practice. Just letting that go now. Okay, and resting the hands down by your side. We're going to draw this right knee in towards the chest, and then start to circle this right knee out to the side. So imagine that you're drawing a circle with that knee, but try and keep this space across the chest, finding a drishti or a gazing point here. And if you need to be taking your circles a little bit lower, that's okay. Just moving into the hip joint, moving into your hip space, Svadhisthana, second chakra. So you can make these circles as small or as big as you want them to be. And bringing that right leg down, bring your left knee in this time. Start to take those circular movements on the other side. Maybe noticing perhaps one hip feels a little bit different with these movements than the other. Noticing any restrictions as the observer. Not judging, not labeling, trying not to criticize. Just observe, just be aware, that's enough. Last circle, and bring that leg back down, take a little shake out through the legs, and we'll come to the top of the mat, so coming into our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the fingers up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forwards, bend the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, float your hands down towards the feet, step it back to plank, pausing here. Fingers nice and spread. Take a moment to connect to that center line of energy through the body. Inhale, come through into your upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, we take it back to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips away from the ribs. You can take a little pedal out through the feet here if that feels good too. Maybe bending into the backs of the legs, noticing how that feels. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands. Step or jump the feet in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, come back to your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky, grow the spine tall. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Now working into our Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, sit the hips back, reach the arms out in front, Udkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, follow the hands down to the mat, step or jump back, work through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Breathing here. Press the mat away with your hands. Find your breath, perhaps practicing your Ujjayi breath if that's in your practice. Inhale, we sweep the right foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up to the sky, find Warrior One. Lift up and out from the waist. Float the hands through to heart center. Bring the weight into the right leg. Find your Warrior Three. Hips are square, pressing through the heel of the left foot. Using any support that you need here. Just breathing into any wobbles or shakes. Bending through your right leg, take a big step back. So we're in a high lunge, our crescent lunge. Drop that back knee down to the mat. So now we're in our low lunge. From here, on your inhale, we're going to drop the chest slightly and sweep the arms up and around. Exhale, we circle them back down. Two more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, circle them round. You might have a radiator in the way, the same as I do. Just taking those circles. Inhale, we're lifting up. Exhale, we're circling round. Hands come back to heart center. And then from here, a lot of us may need a block for this one. You're going to place the block to the outside of your right leg. And you're going to bring your right hand to the block, or you could be bringing the hand to the mat, depending how open you're feeling. And we're going to inhale and reach the left fingertips up and over, finding a stretch here. So deep stretch into the left side body. So this block could be a nice way to support you here to take this stretch. Breathing. And release. Float the hands back down to frame the foot. Lift off that back knee. Step it back to plank. And work through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Finding the breath. Inhale, sweep the left foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up to the sky, warrior one. So back heels down, hips are shining forward, lifting up and out from the waist. Hands come through to heart center. Bring the weight into that front left leg. Find your warrior three. Hips square, pressing through that back foot. Out behind. Bend through the left leg, take a big step back, find your crescent lunge. Reaching those fingertips up. Drop the back knee down, so in our low lunge here now, and taking these movements with the arms, we're going to inhale, drop the chest slightly, draw that energy up, and on the exhale, float it around the back. So inhale, we lift up. Exhale, circling round. Last one, inhale, we lift up. Exhale, circle it around. And then using your block to support you if you need to. Your block's going to come to the left side, or your hand can come to the ground. And we inhale, reach the right arm up and over, finding that deep stretch into the right side body. Breathing here, make sure that that front knee is stacked above the ankle. If it's coming over, then just walking that front foot out slightly. Well done, releasing, bringing your hands back down to frame that front foot. Step it back to plank and vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips to the sky, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands, step or jump the feet in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, bend the legs if you need to. Inhale, sit the hips back, Utkatasana. Squeezing the thighs together, belly's drawing away from the thighs. Drawing that energy up and in towards the body. Exhale, back to your Tadasana mountain pose, hands to heart center. Well done, take a breath here. Take a moment to notice any energy you can feel within the body. And then turning to the side, we're going to take a big step back with that right leg so that we're in a wide leg stance and pivot the toes out. So the toes are pointing towards the corners of your mat. Inhale here, on your exhale, bend through that right leg, find right side Skandasana. See if you can bring this left hand down, open the right arm down, open the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, follow with your gaze, finding this little stretch. Hands back to heart center. Now you can either use the hands to support you here, or you can try it without the hands. We're going to shift over to our left side Skandasana. Just remembering, taking modifications here that you need. Left fingertips come down, right arm reaches up, follow with the gaze. Hands come back to heart center. Move it back over to your right side Skandasana. Yes, that's all right. We're here again. And then I want you to see if you can bring your hips down to the mat, but keeping your legs in roughly this same position. We're going to see if you can bring the left hand to the right ankle and sweep the right arm up and over and find a stretch here. So you could be here, maybe this right hand comes to the left foot. If that's not in your practice, that's okay. Be where you are. Be in the body that you are in today. Honoring that. Listening to that. And releasing from the stretch. So again, this is quite strong on the ankles and the knees. So if you need to use your hands, please do. But option to take the hands to heart center and see if you can lift the hips away. So coming back to Skandasana, right side. And then we move over to the left side. Bringing the hips down to the mat here. Taking the stretch on this side, so right hand comes to the left ankle. Inhale, sweep that left arm up and over, finding the stretch here. Just coming back to your breath, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. Imagine sending your breath into the left side of the body as it opens up. And release. Again, hands back to heart center. Can you lift the hips away, finding that Skandasana position? And then we make our way back to our wide leg stance on the mat. And we'll walk the feet in slightly closer together. Toes pointing out to the side, hands to heart center. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend through the legs, sink the hips down to find your malasana, your yogic squat. So again, you might need to use blocks and props to support you here. So reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling, pressing the palms of the hands in towards each other. And then from your malasana, bringing the hips down to the mat. Plant the soles of your feet on the mat. Reach your fingertips out in front and draw the belly in, activating the core. And then start to lower the spine down towards the mat, seeing if you can go super slow here. So staying with your breath. And coming down to a lying position on your mat with your legs bent and the soles of the feet planted on the ground. We want the arms here at the side of the body. And keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest. I want you to draw your pelvis up and in towards the body and notice the belly drawing in as you do this. Notice the lower back connecting more closely towards the mat. From here, keeping this activation, lift your hips away from the mat and then start to press the hips up towards the ceiling. So finding our bridge pose. Option to interlace the hands and roll the shoulders in towards each other, opening further across the chest. Breathing here. So this is a really good pose for energizing, and a lot of these poses like downward dog, downward dog is an inversion. We're increasing the blood flow to the brain, which can be really good for energizing, giving us a little boost for our focus and our concentration. Anything where the heart is lifted above the head can have this effect. Well done. Release the hands. Float the spine and then the hips back down to the mat. Release the shoulders. Take a little window wipe with the knees from side to side. And then from here, we're going to take, either you're going to take your shoulder stand, or you could take legs up the wall if you prefer. If you don't have a wall, you can place a block under your hips and do legs up the wall that way. So take what you're feeling for today, what feels right for you. So I'm going to come into shoulder stand now. So keeping that head and neck nice and straight, chins tucked in towards the chest. Breathing here. If you're in your shoulder stand, just taking your last couple of breaths, whichever pose you went for, and then slowly coming away, melting yourself back down to the mat. And then bringing your feet to the outside edges of the mat, let the knees drop in together. Reconstructive rest. And then what I want you to do is cross your arms over, so we've got the right arm over the left arm, as if you're taking a big hug here. So seeing if you can work your hands around to find your shoulder blades. So we're internally rotating with the shoulder joint. Taking a nice deep stretch. You can close the eyes if that feels good too. And just seeing if you can observe any areas of the body where there's energy, where you can feel energy, maybe a sense of warmth, tingling, different sensations. Noticing whatever is there, whatever is alive for you. And just gently switching the arms over, so we want the left arm coming over the right arm now. And releasing the arms, just gently draw the knees in towards the chest, taking a big hug here, taking any gentle movement that feels good. Maybe that's a gentle sway or rock from side to side. And then you're just going to see if you can gently rock yourself or bring yourself to a comfortable seated position on the mat. And we're going to place our hands with the palms facing up. So again, this is a gesture of receiving new energy and receiving wisdom. So I want you to close your eyes and just take a moment to think of any energy, anything that you want to bring in with you today. What kind of energy would you like to receive? Would you like to feel within the body? Opening the eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this practice with me. I hope you felt energized and enjoyed this class. If you did, then please do click subscribe to this channel. It's completely free. It just helps me to continue offering this yoga resource. Do check out my Mindful Morning series that's running throughout December and beyond. So I've got kind of 3 flows coming each week where we look at yoga philosophy, and we're also kind of doing some energizing kind of morning practices. So do take a look at that. Link below to the other things that I offer, and I can't wait to hopefully see you again on here very soon. Take care. Bye bye.